Your brain is telling you a bunch of lies. Confessions of a breadwinner. Okay, ladies, I'm back, and I am driving to a doctor's appointment because I need some blood work, and that's always fun. So, I wanted to talk to you about some thoughts that I've been having lately as a breadwinner, as a female breadwinner who used to not be the breadwinner. And being a mother and a wife and all of the things that we are to everybody else, I just wanted to talk candidly about mindset, beliefs, stories, and identity. So 2 years ago, my husband left his corporate 9-to-5 job. And at that point, my business was making more money than what he was bringing home. I was making more money. We were bringing in more money. But, you hang on to things for security. So in order to set up our lifestyle in alignment with how we wanted to feel and our bigger goals, which was to be location independent so that eventually we can travel more, which we might do this winter, and learn to global school and homeschool our children, which I'm totally looking into right now and getting a lot of resources for that. So I'll definitely be sharing more info on that as it comes. But really thinking long term and then, short term things. So when you do this, of course, your identity changes, your mindset changes, your action changes, your lifestyle changes. So as my husband left his job, then all of a sudden, he's not the quote unquote breadwinner anymore. He's not the man making the bacon, bringing it home. And he is in the supporting role for me. And in the supporting role, then I show up as holy shit. All of the financial burden is on me and I need to make, magic happen and all of that stuff. And it's funny because even though I was making more before and paying most of the bills, he paid a few of the bills. It's just funny how your mind plays tricks on you because all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I have all of this pressure on me and responsibility. And so it's taken me a really long time, almost 2 years, to realize, I'm like, I'm going to fail. This is, oh my God, this is so much pressure, so much responsibility. And I'm like, well, how do you think my husband felt? How do you think, majority of men feel when they're like, I have this financial pressure. And if you're not aware of your mindset, these thoughts will play tricks on you and they will consume you and they will dictate your life and the actions that you take, which is why I see so many women hustling, especially breadwinner women hustling, and then burning themselves out and, dying or getting diagnosis for something going, oh my gosh, why was I working so hard? Why wasn't I living in alignment? So I've been having this story run in the background of my mind for the last 2 years. And, sometimes it will get to me and other times it doesn't. And it's almost like, I always say it's the fourth child you didn't know I had because it is this child that you have to manage. You're managing this energy of this thought process that's keep going. Oh my God, pressure, work harder. And I'm like, no, I don't need to work harder. I need to work smarter. And I need to take the strategic action to achieve the desired life that, we created, and also be smart with our money and save and whatever. You don't need to drive a brand new freaking car all the time. You don't need the best of the best. Eat at home. You don't need to eat out. And to be honest, when your money is just you can buy whatever you want and the abundance is overflowing, you get lazy with your intentions. And when you get lazy with your intentions, you start to be oh, I don't want to do that, therefore I'm not going to. And so sometimes, putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation is where you're going to grow. So these last 2 years, being the full, blown breadwinner as my husband gets his business up and running, has been eye-opening for our self-worth as women and our identity. And I've talked about this before, but my role as a mother has changed. My role as a woman has changed because I used to link my success, quote unquote, or accomplishments to, making my kids lunches, or making sure that I was the one who did all the laundry and put it away, or making sure that I was the one that, organized the schedule. And I've had to delegate so much and let so much go that I've started to realize a lot of my value and worth, and I know I'm not alone when I say this, is and was tied up in traditional female roles, which I believe is why we're at the core of a cultural epidemic of female burnout. So now that a lot of those things have been taken off my plate, where my husband is in a supporting role and we're being like a really good team together, and I've delegated a lot in my business, this is the exact thought process that goes through my mind. Oh, I could do this myself in 5 minutes. I'm not going to bug the other person. But yet I'm legit paying the other person, not my husband, but paying the other person, someone on my team, to help me with that exact task that I need support with. So, this is why, ladies, we need help. This is why you feel like you're crazy. This is why you feel like you're a trailblazer. My mission and message is to help women create alignment in their lives. And even though from the outside it can look really good, right? You're like, okay, I want to live in this house. I want to make this much money. I want to do all that. The alignment comes from within. And so the last few weeks, I've really stepped into, and I say few weeks, it's been a few months, I've really stepped into like, what is that next version of Heather? What's that identity of who, she is as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as like a human fucking being, as like a person with a soul and a heart and a desire to make an impact in the world, but also somebody who just wants to feel really, 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 really good. And as I start to take those actions, those courageous, uncomfortable actions towards becoming that version of me, what I have found is there is this death. There's this death. There is this releasing from my body, from my mind, from my soul of a letting go. And that letting go is legit painful. Because I'm letting go, of not only my own beliefs, but I'm letting go of the beliefs of my mother, and I'm letting go of the beliefs of my grandmother and the beliefs of women and generations before us. And I'm also letting go of the expectations of who other women perceive me to be. And I'm also letting go of other expectations of who men expect me to be. And, strangers. And really honoring who I want to be. So when I say confessions of a breadwinner, what I mean is I finally, within the last few years, had this aha moment that, this pressure or expectation was on me. Like, I have to show up. I have to do the work. I have to do all these things. But here's the thing. Why do we wait until we're backed into the corner and we're like, oh, fuck, now I need to actually start pursuing my dreams in my business. Now I need to actually start putting myself out there. Now I need to actually start charging what I want to charge so there's no anger or resentment and I feel totally in alignment with my business and I love my clients and they're seeing amazing results. Why do we take feeling the pressure to actually take action on that? I believe that women can be breadwinners and scale a business or a career and ask for what they want. Where I've literally worked with women in corporate who are like, but Heather, you don't understand. I'm on salary and I have to work 40 to 60 hours a week. And I'm like, no, you fucking don't. You don't need to work 40 to 60 hours a week. You're choosing that. Because if you were actually taking ownership of your life, what you would be saying is, hey, boss, I can get more done in less time because the fuller I am, the bigger impact I can make in your company. Prove people wrong. Prove people wrong. But here's the thing. Our identity is attached to how many hours we're working. Our identity is attached to how many lunches we make. Our identity is attached to if the clothes are perfectly folded. Our identity is attached to if our kitchen is clean enough. And so my message for you, my message for you today is, are you willing to let go of the parts of yourself that are no longer serving you? And with any death, there's grief. And so this past month when I'm like, I'm getting sick, what is this? I've been working through some heavy crap. Yeah, maybe it's a cold, but on a deeper level, I think I'm releasing old parts of myself and shit that didn't even belong to me that, I no longer need. Because as I step into my leadership and who I want to be and the message I want to put out into the world, and more importantly, the mother and the human being that I want to be remembered as on my last day, you got to let go of the parts of yourself that no longer serve you. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for listening. And I wanted to give you a quick little heads up. If you're interested in Mastery, it's an 8-month coaching program. Yes, it is a 5-figure investment. This is not for newbies to personal development. This is for women who are ready to kick ass in life, in their career, in their health, create alignment in their relationships, and fall asleep feeling content. If this is you and you have some background in investing in yourself, personal development, you're willing to take ownership and to do the work, then I highly suggest you head on over to momisincontrol.com and fill out your application today. I don't know the specific day yet, but we're actually going to start waitlisting people, and I don't know exactly when we're opening the doors next, but if you feel the call right now and you're like, fuck it, one life. Guys, guess what? Summer is here. And I know you're going to say, it's summer, I'm busy, the kids are off. Well, guess what? Now is the perfect time to learn how to recreate and deepen that connection and relationship with your children. Sustainability, there's no perfect time for it. So I look forward to reading your application at momisincontrol.com.
Before I started Heather's program, I was feeling quite overwhelmed. Full-time job, mother of 2 children, wife. I felt like I had so many different hats that I had to wear, and there was just never enough time to do them all. And taking care of myself was squeezed in there maybe once every other week, and I always felt guilty about that. And I did understand, I could hear what people were saying, that you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before helping others, but I just couldn't see myself doing that. I didn't know how I could really do that without feeling guilty. I felt sad and full of anxiety, and I felt guilty for feeling full of anxiety because I have a life where I've got a nice house and I've got, all the material things that people would see as having a wonderful life. And I had this deep message coming to me that I wanted something more. You can find joy in some of the smallest things. And that's what I feel is one of the biggest changes that I've felt and seen, is that I can start to recognize the joy, and I don't feel guilty about taking time for myself. And as Heather says, it's not about a pedicure or a massage. It's about going and spending 30 minutes by myself after I've woken up in the morning, just to center myself, to connect with what I'm thinking, and to do some meditation, to listen to my breathing. All of those things sound small, but they really actually help to feel grounded and less overwhelmed. And I feel able to tackle just about any task now, which I didn't feel before. What makes Heather unique is her ability just cut through all the bullshit, and she's able to center it back on actionable steps that you can take to improve your situation. What message I would give is that I'm worth it. I'm worth the investment in myself, to make myself a better person so other people can enjoy me more and I can enjoy myself more. So I've got the oxygen mask on so that I can help others with their oxygen as well, and they can live their happy lives. Change is possible if you're willing to do the work and willing to stick with it. I think sticking with it and being patient with yourself, it's just, we only use a very small percentage of our brain capacity, and this is just a way to maybe use one part of your brain that you've left dormant or you've decided to ignore. Heather will help you do that, and her program helps you to do that, to face the things that you may have wanted to ignore or didn't even know you were ignoring. Having the community of other women that are going on this journey has been fantastic. It's nice to be able to have that to look forward to, have a little gem of information or a quote that you may just really connect with, and to see how other women are struggling through these hard topics, but they're getting to the other side. And it's just, you get to see example after example of people having these breakthroughs, and they're just ordinary women like I am, and they're making it happen. So it's really motivational to have that group. It's just fantastic and very enriching to the whole program.